Look, we don't have many gold medals. It's so hard to get to the top.
I made it hard on myself.
And all these people were texting me saying like, what the heck did Geordie do? Like, why did he do that? And I was confused, I didn't know what happened.
It was just like, action.
It's all about just trying to make the most of the opportunity. We came from a place where we had no medals and we created them. We've got this very special bond. We both won national championships at secondary schools, when we were 18 years old, on the same weekend. So me in the high jump, him in the 3,000 metres, not steeples, but 3,000. And fast forward to 2024, and
Glasgow for us was really special. Being indoor world champs on the same day.
Both become world champions for the first time. So I was in the morning.
For the crowning glory and an Oceania record of 2:36. Yes! Hamish Kerr!
And I was after him, and
Beamish trying to get in the shake-up as well. Kessler from Nader. Hoker, and look at Beamish. Geordie Beamish takes gold for New Zealand.
And we just couldn't believe it, you know, to see him win the 1,500 metres in the World Indoors was so special.
I think he was like jumping the barriers to give me a hug after that one in Glasgow. So to come back and repeat that again in the opposite order is just unreal.
Second heat in the men's steeplechase, trying to get themselves into a global final. Geordie Beamish is on his day as well. He was 5th in Budapest, a few years of injury.
I ran my first steeplechase in April of 2023. You know, I'd always enjoyed picking up new skills and learning something new. And after probably 10 years in the sport, like it was actually really fun to challenge myself to learn something new, like hurdling. Gave myself a shot to make the final in Budapest, and then I saw how close I came to a medal there with a 5th place finish, and kind of saw that it was really possible to get to the top of that event. So
I'd expect a big move here pretty soon, and Geordie Beamish as well, such a talented athlete. I really hope he's bouncing along there at the back of the pack with Rupert. I hope that means those two are okay. A nice quiet first couple of kilometres, but now as we go in with around about 500 metres to go, positioning is going to be perfect. It's got to be really, really good. Athletes, and there could be chaos.
I was actually at the track training when his qualifying race was on. At the time, suddenly I had all these messages come through, like my dad and my mum, and all these people were texting me saying like, what the heck did Geordie do? Like, why did he do that? And so I was like, I was confused, I didn't know what happened.
But there's a whole lot of athletes all jostling. Geordie Beamish for the first time moves up into contention as the athletes take the battle, and it's Magnusson back into this lead, the fearless Swede. And I said it was going to be close. Down goes De Gagne, down goes Beamish.
Well, I went on my social media and I see the photo of like the shoe in his face, and I just couldn't believe it.
yeah, it's just in my nature to get back up and keep going.
There's still a chance they could be advanced if that's Beamish. Could finish in the top 5 regardless. The Kiwi is flying onto the back of this group.
Yeah, I don't think there was much going through my mind, honestly. It was just like action. There was never a thought to, stay down and hope for some kind of protest or something into the final. Like that never even crossed my mind, and I just got up as fast as I could, and I've been at the back plenty of times with a lap to go, so I just tried to stay relaxed and take the next few barriers well, and had a strong last 100 and felt really good qualifying still.
Look at Geordie Beamish. This is one of the best runs the Kiwi has had in the last couple of years. He's going to qualify despite falling. That is one of the most impressive things I've ever seen, falling in a steeplechase, getting up and qualifying.
He's a crazy guy. Like, it's the things just always seem to happen to him that just you never expected. But for him to be able to come back from that and do what he did is true credit to his character and the way he is as an athlete.
I made it hard on myself. It worked.
Yeah, I think honestly it might have been a blessing in disguise, really. After the fall and getting up and being able to feel really good still qualifying, I think that gave me more confidence than it would have done had I not fallen and still qualified. So yeah, I think that really convinced me that fitness was as good, if not better, than I had thought.
It's absolutely non-stop in this stadium. The final of the men's 3,000 metre steeplechase. The lineup for this is absolutely remarkable. The world record holder against the world and Olympic champion, against the world junior champion, against the Commonwealth champion, against the Pan American champion. Geordie Beamish, the world indoor champion over 1500 last year, he fell and rose to qualify automatically.
The atmosphere for the final was like, you know, nothing I've ever experienced. Being in the race with Miura was a huge honour. You know, they absolutely love him here, and you know, I think a lot of that crowd noise was probably for him, but you know, the rest of us feel it and hear it as well. So
the 3,000 steeplechase final gets underway in all its glory. And the slower this is, the more it plays into the hands of the lightning quick finish. There's never been a medal for a New Zealander with Geordie Beamish getting up off the floor. It was Chariots of Fire-esque. It was almost Eric Liddell-esque as he got up from a bad fall to qualify. The Kiwi, world indoor champion over the 15, tucked in on the curb with a lightning quick finish when he needs it. Kiwis, now the athlete at the back, and El Bakali just beginning to pay close attention now as we come round with less than 800 to go. And Machowski's really torn this apart. What a brave move this is to go with 2 laps to go.
Beamish, who was brilliant yesterday or the day before, trying to make moves, but he's just running into bodies left, right and centre. But El Bakali, he's got to stutter into that barrier. It takes energy. The American looking strong. He's still got the lead just at the bell.
They take the bell in the final of the men's 3,000 metre steeplechase. The crowd are going absolutely wild for their hero Miura.
it was just like a wave. It just followed us around the track, and I didn't think it could get any louder. And yeah, somehow it did. And
what a climax here! Miura's getting in the mix. Kerr from El Bakali. Miura coming wide on the outside. He's in a medal position. You can hardly hear yourself think here. Geordie Beamish coming. El Bakali now strikes for gold. Kerr in second place. Miura's desperately trying to hang on to the bronze, but here comes Geordie Beamish. El Bakali over that last barrier. Watch the Kiwi. He finishes so quickly, and he's coming, and he's closing. They're side by side, and this time it goes to Beamish.
yeah, I backed myself against most people in the world, if not everyone. So yeah, it was a lot of fun.
That was one of the all-time great steeplechases. We said that Geordie Beamish could finish like a steam train, and he's done it. Geordie Beamish is the champion of the world, and the former winner this time has to settle for silver.
That's unreal. That was actually unreal.
And that from Beamish, if you remember him winning the world title indoors in Glasgow in a similar fashion, just bursting out of the pack with a tremendous last 50 metres. At that point, to be brave enough to stick to your plan of becoming a steeplechaser and not go back to your comfort zone of the flat races was a pretty brave move from Beamish, and I think it's only really paid off now. There are so many young men and young athletes around the world that are going to watch this race and say, if Geordie can do it, maybe I can.
Yeah, took me 3 goes, but yeah, happy to have made it.
Well, the night before my competition, I was lying in bed, just about to go to sleep, and I was like, I'll just watch Geordie's race because you know I think he's in good shape. I have to say, like I was super stoked for him, but also kind of nervous because then I knew that I had to also do the same.
It's the final of the men's high jump. We're expecting more drama tonight. There's the Olympic champion, Hamish Kerr, and he arguably comes into this as the favourite. But despite the fact that he's always challenging near the top, Kerr has never before reached a final of a World Championships until this edition.
So they're all lined up, we're ready to be introduced. South Korea's Woo San-hyuk is looking to make it 2 world titles in 1 year after already picking up indoor gold in Nanjing. Hamish Kerr has won the Olympics, he's won the Commonwealth Games, he's won the Diamond League, the World Indoor Champion from 2024 as well, and just needs the World Championship gold to complete the set.
I didn't think a lot about it at the start of the year. I didn't even realise that it was possible. But as the year sort of started to progress and people started asking me a lot of questions about the potential for having this Grand Slam, and it made me realise that potentially I could win them all this year.
World Indoor Champion from 2024 as well, to get started at 2 meters 20 and easily clear for the New Zealander, who's struggled in qualifying at the last 3 World Championships, out at 222, 225, 225 again. Of course, he needed 3 attempts to get to the final of the Paris Olympics at 224. It's a bit of a tricky height for him, and it's a bit of a mental barrier. He's talked about it in the past about how he admits that he gets a bit worried about that kind of height, and that is going to be the next height. A little delay here because the men's hammer throwers are just being introduced to the crowd for their final.
It was a long night. I think that so much of my preparation has been around managing my energy. I knew that it was going to be hot. I knew that there was going to be a lot on the track, and I knew that there were going to be times where we would have to be waiting for the jumps even if we were ready to jump. And so I was focusing on this mostly, and I knew that if I could keep my energy through the competition, I would be able to jump pretty high.
Hamish Kerr, his first attempt at 2 meters 24. It's been a difficult height for him in the past, but not today. 2 meters 24, first time clearance for Hamish Kerr, and he goes on to 2 meters 28.
The great thing about high jump is we spend a lot of time out on the track, and so that can be quite boring, and you have to have moments where you can just be silly with your friends and just muck around a little bit. Wu has all these soft toys on his bag, and last year before the Olympic final he gifted me one, so it's his club mascot, and so I have it on one of my backpacks at home, and so I decided that I needed to return the favour. So before World Indoors this year I gave him a little kiwi with a little rugby ball, which is our national bird and our national sport, and so I gave it to him, and every time he comes to a competition now he has it on his bag, so it's quite cute to see.
2 meters 28. And now he is the pace setter.
231, I had a couple of misses, and I was a bit frustrated with myself because I knew that I had some good performances in my legs. And
he's got a perfect record in this competition so far. But not anymore. Second attempt at 231. Oh, yes! Can Kerr respond? Kerr's second attempt at 2 meters 31. And he'll need a third.
Everybody in that final was an amazing athlete physically. And so the thing that sets me apart is my ability to control my emotions and control my energy and control my mind. And I think in those moments where it's really hard, I draw on all the amazing things that happen in my life outside of athletics. My family and my friends, and I always think about just being at home with those people and just relaxing and having a good time. And I know that regardless of if I miss the bar or clear the bar, those people will still be there for me, and I will still be able to go home and be able to have a really enjoyable off-season and have some great time with them. It kind of makes me feel a little bit more at peace with where I'm at, even in those really stressful moments. And so it's all about just trying to make the most of the opportunity that I've got, but know that at the end of the day, if it doesn't work out, I'll still wake up the next morning and just get on with my life. So
he'll know he can do this. And that is why Hamish Kerr is the Olympic champion. Because when it matters, he can deliver.
I think competition usually starts being serious when people start walking away from each other.
For the 4 who remain, it's Kerr who's come nearest to achieving this height. Wu His final attempt at 2 meters 34. Which he clears. Wu Sanhyu. Hamish Kerr will try to maintain the challenge. His final attempt in a share of third place. And the Olympic champion is over too. It's a share of first for Kerr and Wu. And now it's a battle for gold between Wu and Kerr. Bar will rise to 2 meters 36. If one of these athletes can clear this height, it's quite simple, it will be gold. .236 is the mark that Hamish Kerr won the Olympic title with. Did it first time in that jump off. Can he match the achievement here? Do exactly the same. Kerr for the outright lead. Champion could well be heading for the world title. So the bar will rise. Wu has to. It's the only way he can take gold away from Kerr. The slightest of touches. Now's the time for Wu. Kerr is his biggest cheerleader. Even though he knows gold will be snatched away from him. Wu will have 2 attempts at 2 meters 38. His final chance for the world title. And Hamish Kerr has completed the set.
I feel like an aeroplane when I'm jumping really, really well, and so yeah, this is me trying to pretend I'm an aeroplane. I don't know if I'm a very good aeroplane, but
the Olympic champion becomes the world champion too, and a first gold in this event for New Zealand.
there were times where I really doubted if I was going to win, be able to really just fight until the bitter end and make sure that I didn't give up until right at the end was very important.
After that gold, the surprise gold for Geordie Beamish last night in the 3,000 metre steeplechase, Kerr no doubt inspired. He's one of the nice guys in track and field.
Yeah, Kiwis can fly.
To this time, you know, set the bar for him the day before, and to come back and repeat that again in the opposite order is just unreal. Like, the chance of that happening is just crazy.
I saw him in the crowd after my performance. He gave me a big hug and we just had a moment and just, you know, was able to reflect for a little bit.
It's so hard to get to the top of the sport. You have to really appreciate and enjoy those times when you do get something really special and a time to enjoy like this. You know, I've had a lot of setbacks in terms of injury in my career, and I think unless you're the very, you know, few people at the top of the sport, the rest of us lose a lot more than we win, and you know, that's part of the sport, and it's a really hard sport, and having an appreciation for the low moments and how they develop you as an athlete and as a person, and being able to enjoy the high moments because of what you've been through, really.
We obviously go through the heat of battle and the heat of the moment, and you know, when you win a major championships like the World Champs, you know, it's busy. There's a lot of things happening, and so, you know, to be able to go onto that stage and have a moment of calm and a moment of reflection and a moment of, you know, realization of what you've done it's quite emotional. So yeah, for me, I was tearing up a little bit, not as much as Jan, but yeah, it was very, very special to see how much it meant to everybody, you know, on the podium, but also in the crowd. Look, we don't have many gold medals. We've traditionally sent quite small teams. We have 14 people here, which is one of the bigger teams that we've ever had. To have 2 in 2 days was very, very special. If people back home and young people realise that there is opportunity in our sport, you don't have to be a thrower, you don't have to be a distance runner, you can be any event you want if you like it, if you feel like you're talented, if you feel like you want to take it to the next level. I hope that people just follow their dreams and do that, and not just in athletics but in any sport and anything they want to do. I think we've proved that we came from a place where we had no medals in these events and we created them. If other people can create things for our country and for the world and for the betterment of all people, then I think it's really, really cool.
Yeah, just be able to inspire people and bring some joy to fans all over the world.